We called it the Traveler, and its arrival changed us forever. Great cities were built on Mars and Venus. Mercury became a garden world. Human lifespan tripled. It was a time of miracles. We stared out at the galaxy and knew that it was our destiny to walk in the light of other stars. But the Traveler had an enemy. A darkness, which had hunted it for eons across the black gulfs of space. Centuries after our golden age began, this darkness found us. And that was the end of everything. But it was also a beginning. On May 21st, 2026, Bungie announced they are ceasing active development of Destiny 2, with a final content drop happening on June 9th, 2026, dubbed The Monument of Triumph. This came as an extreme shock, extremely more so towards me, considering how I feel about Destiny. Destiny 2 was going through a rough patch from the Edge of Fate launch back in July 2025, and Renegade sort of remedying all the horrible changes the Edge of Fate introduced, with the notable one, the portal. It turned off a lot of new lights and veterans alike. Marathon was rolling around the corner, so the next major update for Destiny 2, that was scheduled for March, same week as Marathon launch, got delayed to June. Some way and somehow within me, I knew the end was coming and it was for real. Why? Because since September of 2025, when they were releasing their first major update, Ash and Iron, and getting ready to show off a little bit of Renegades, they talked about a roadmap that was supposed to come within the next couple of weeks since that live stream, and it never came. Within me, I knew that the game was probably heading towards its finality. I held out a lot of hope though. I wanted to believe Destiny would continue for 100 years, 100 episodes, 100 seasons, Destiny and RedC forever and ever. But it wasn't. And it's not. Ever. I was at work when I found out about the news. My friend Manny and another friend Wulad sent me DMs on Discord, sending me the link of the Twitter article. And in me, I knew it. I didn't even read the title yet. I looked at that picture and I knew it was the end. When I read those words that they were ceasing development, I was paralyzed. I truly felt like I had sunk down into the deep. I was swallowed by darkness. Since then, I've hid it behind jokes. I made it sound like it was no big deal to my friends that I would play other games like Final Fantasy XIV, Ark Survival Ascended, Fortnite. But it ate me out inside. This video here though, this script I'm writing, this is the real me. I have a lot of love for Destiny. And now Destiny ends. And I'm really suffering in a swirling black hole of depression, anxiety, regret, anger, sadness, and resent. Half of me was chucked down into darkness. The other half of me stares at the air, dissociating. Destiny was my safe space, a place where I learned binary, where I learned how to socialize, where I was accepted for being me even with all my faults. Destiny kept me as sane as my grandma did. Now they're both gone. I did learn how to cope though. I have amazing friends that keep me afloat. We laugh, we meme, we shitpost, we draw, we write, and we play a lot of games together. Melanie, Manny, Carlos, Corey, Asher, Joe, Diamond, Mati, Resty, Ulad, and more. And even though I don't talk to you both no more, if you somehow come across this, those memories, no matter how much I out of sight, out of mind it, they can never fade. Blossom and Vet, you two are what pushed me further into Destiny. And you two are what hooked me into Final Fantasy XIV. And that game became my new space for me, even when I wouldn't get my ass off Destiny. Even though we aren't friends anymore, I'm still going to say thank you for introducing me to a new love and a new safe space in my life. I love Final Fantasy XIV. It does fill that void Destiny hasn't filled in years. And it's a fucking big addiction. I fucking love Final Fantasy XIV. And thank you both for being there with me in the final shape. I will always remember that moment of killing the Witness with you both. That will always be a monumentous moment to end a 10-year story with the people I cared about most. So, without all that emotion out of the way, I want to tell you what this video is and why it's here. This is a video that will be in a similar style to Jay Schlatt's A Tribute to Minecraft. I want to share my journey with you all. I want to share Destiny's history with you all. I want to leave a mark in Destiny's history, even if it's extremely small and not noticeable. This video will be here. It will always be here. A testament to something I truly loved and held very close to me. I always wanted to be a content creator for Destiny, but I never had the balls to do it. I was always streamer first, YouTube second. Now the roles are reversed. And this is my time to show my love to a game that has quite literally built half of me. This is a tribute to Destiny.
The Witness. Why do I walk like a fucking chud? Look at me.
Or a chud.
Look at me. Wait, hold on.
Fat ass.
Look at this.
Oh, they're probably gonna have you. You chose to be a robot? You ugly fat chud, bro. Holy shit. Character here, he's important. You get to the mid game, and then you get to the end game. He is the guy that will equip you with. Every week he goes through a random inventory of exotic weapons and exotic armor. Also, there's materials that you can buy for currency that, you know, the same currency that you can buy the weapons and armor. Which would be strange coins, which you get at the end of every activity. Okay, so there's light, hold on, there's light and dark powers. Ikora is the one you go to for your arc, solar, and void power. For void, you're playing the fantasy of a pseudo vampire. You're a sucker. Go on, kitten, I follow.
To the tree.
With the twig? Yeah, and now you're guarding rank 2.
Eee.
Guardian ranks are a sense of progression, or another sense of progression. So now you're guardian rank 2. So when you go to your character, you're going to see the journey tab. If you click view rank progress, you're going to see all the tabs on the left, and the task is going to ask you to do to complete that tab on the right. Once you complete every tab, you go back to the tree to rank up. Right now, for example, I'm on Guardian rank 6. If I do 2 more tabs, I'll be Guardian rank 7.
What does infusing a weapon do specifically?
The power.
Just the power? By how? Does it add onto the weapon you're gonna fuse it with,
changes
or
the power to the number of the higher weapon? So if you have a weapon that's 300 and a weapon that's 550, you infuse the 550 into the 300, and it turns that first weapon into the 550 weapon.
the gun the main gun I infuse the other guns with will stay the same, right? It's only just changed power.
Correct.
Okay.
This is your campaign mission. You gotta shoot things, boy. Just start shooting the fucking molecules.
How do I switch? Hold on.
Hold your Y.
Oh, is that how you? Oh shit!
Bro, pull the charger cannon, man. Holy fuck. Oh, wait, sorry, heavy ammo.
Okay. I'm looking at you. That's just funny. I was just trying to figure out how to get to my shotgun, and then this fucking creature came up to me.
Hear it?
But
Fuck. Can't you hear my farts? Fucking Oreo starts barking on the window. Fucking it's thunderstorming outside and the lightning strikes. All you see is my fucking my ass rubbed up against your window.
Yo, what the fuck?
Fuck is that? And then the fucking lightning strikes again, and then I'm just fucking gone. And then all you hear is like water dripping, and then it's just me fucking butt ass naked right behind you. And I fucking bend over, getting ready to throw another one.
Gas bomb me! Fucking mustard gas.
The rally banner, Manny. This recharges all your ammo, all your abilities. I'm gonna let you kill him. Good luck. Worry about the boss. I'm worrying about the ads, so you don't gotta work. So you don't get overwhelmed.
That's not with anything.
I healed you, don't worry. I healed you, don't worry.
Really, no.
Well, steal your kill! Don't make me. I did not mean to throw that on him. You got the kill. Good. A glimmer.
My legs. My legs.
Well, this is awkward. You got a gun I can borrow?
No. But I do have a bullet with your name on it.
Any second now, my partner.
Is that the vampire looking dude?
No.
And you, my man.
This is going to hurt.
Is that the witness?
Allah.
Oh.
Is that the witness?
Any last words?
Is that the witness?
No.
Is that the traveler?
Creative. Can you use your woman powers on him? Something.
Gunshot. just hear me. You just hear me fucking fall to the floor.
The Crane Carter has disconnected from the fire team. No, that red barrel looks fucking neuron activation, and you should walk up to the red barrel and see what happens. Up to that.
I did it.
Up to it.
I see you fucking hit me.
I'm not doing that. You're crazy.
Oh. Oh fuck!
Danny, walk backwards. Walk to your left. Walk to your left. What?
Oh shit! Oh my god! The fact I didn't notice it too until you
Worked in my favor because it fell down on its side. Danny, walk up to the boss. You're a pussy. Up to the boss. Walk towards that box next to him. To your right. Oh, that's to your left. You're gonna get stuck with a whole bunch of shanks that are gonna kill you. Yeah, run towards me. Run towards me. Fuck!
I saw that like literally last second. What were you doing?
There was a barrel there and I almost got you! If it weren't for the fucking healing! Oh! There, go fucking loot your chest. What's that?
Return to the room in the EDZ to see if he can help.
Oh, no, you can walk back.
I'm walking.
Here, go up the stairs.
I'm walking. Oh no!
Walk up the stairs, man! No! Come into my garage.
No.
Promise it's safe. Probably. Look at that little guy flying all over the place.
Shut the fuck up, Ghost.
Whoa, Manny. Whoa. That's not very.
Sorry,
That's.
I'm sorry.
You're gonna make
that
me
was,
fart
that,
now.
That was. That
Hold
was
on a minute.
controversial.
Oh yeah.
You motherfucker.
Both went down the. Oh my god! Ow, my back.
Sure, you got pegged.
Oh, I was trying to pop a pimple. What the fuck?
I'll do it on my computer. Good.
Jiggling my balls. Niagara Falls.
That's so true.
I'm going to touch you.
Touch me appropriately.
I'm going to touch you appropriately.
Creative, you have your live yaoi. Get ready.
I don't think she wants this life, Yowie.
It's gonna be horrible.
She's gonna wanna kill herself.
Creative, is this true?
Creative, don't answer that question.
I'm currently looking at things. I am good.
She is things.
Remember, I disassociate very quick, so I.
Likely story, you fucking libtard. I'm going to jiggle your balls.
Jiggles your balls.
walks up to Melanie / creative, jiggles your ovaries.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, look.
Oh, that glows?
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's
saying.
crazy. What the heck?
Wait, what?
And then
Go back.
And then it looks like cum. If I do this, looks like I cummed on.
That's actually really cool.
The cum or the rainbow?
No. That's the rainbow. Not the comb. Alright, what? Alright, let's go to do your distortion.
I don't wanna. Oh, you're talking
I'll make
creative.
you. Yeah, I'm trying. Bro's trying to catch a stray.
Okay, distortion.
Yeah, I'd be distorting it. Ooh, 1,000 bright dust. Welcome back, Blueberry's Ruin. You were my favorite a long time ago. Now you're my favorite once again.
So how do you speed?
Stop playing the game.
Oh, that is
You're not doing.
Of course.
And not doing any sightseeing.
You gotta play the game.
Slowly turned into Albert Einstein. Ah, yes. Eureka.
I feel like I skipped 5 steps. Now we know who this guy is.
No, we don't. Let's forget about it. Let's forget he even exists. Alright, who is this guy?
Talking about the cutscene with the witness?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Good luck. I know you pay attention to stories, creative, so I can't wait to hear your mental breakdown when you go through Lightfall.
The dilemma is, I don't know what the fuck the story is right now, so I have no frame of care for it.
Welcome to Everybody Has Done Lightfall.
Okay, so why is he trying to connect with the Veil?
These are questions that will be answered to you at a future date.
I feel like the witness has mommy issues.
It doesn't have a mommy.
I think it itself is the mom.
So yes, mommy issues.
It has multiple, actually.
Multiple is an understatement.
Alright, Destiny announcements. I forgot that existed.
I'm going to eat you.
Really now.
Yes. Stomach growls. Stomach growls again.
Growl.
Starts thinking about eating Crane Carter.
Uh-oh.
Oh, you don't want to mess with me. Rubs belly.
It's time for the moment you've been waiting for. Da 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 da
The enemy is everywhere. Is my fucking volume up?
I just got spaghetti.
Lap 2, baby!
What?
I'm playing something called SRL.
What's that?
Mario Kart and Destiny.
Oh, right. That.
Trying to see if I can unlock the armor. Oh, these fucking penises!
What's the armor look like?
You look naked. Oh my god, how are they catching up to me, Manny? Answer that!
I don't know.
2 out of 3 laps. That means once I hit lap 3 and I lap that 4th time. That means that means it's over, right?
Probably.
Oh my god, that guy fucking died. He fucking crashed into that windmill looking shit. Manny, that guy's being racist to me!
Oh, that's not good.
What the fuck? How are they hitting me? Fuck off, you little cock! Holy shit! Fuck off! Oh my god. Fuck that guy. I hate sparrows.
You all hate sparrows.
I hate sparrows. This guy fucking crashes into his mom's garage. Right, Manny?
Yes. Huh.
Fuck you, pussy! I always win! First try! First place! Look at you down there. Look at you down there looking at that banshee, you fucking loser. What you looking left to right?
Oh, I see there. You're in a fucking tree.
No, I'm not. No, I'm not. You're crazy.
Get the fuck down from there.
No!
Get down.
No! Oh my god. I believe in you, Manny. I made it. Oh no, what?
Ghost. Ghost from Modern Warfare? Oh, fuck you. Look at chat.
Shut up.
Am I? How the fuck did I die? Oh my god! Oh! Whoa!
You just fucking crashed into the window. I'm just hitting you with the hearts.
No, no!
Okay, Manny. You know what to do. I'm paying for it.
I thought
So you don't got. Yeah, I'm paying for it since I'm rich.
That's what you get! What's happening?
The public event is starting, but give it a moment. Things won't spawn in yet. Where the fallen at?
Oh!
Oh, I fucking shit threw you over there! Look what landed on you!
Oh my goodness! That scared the shit out of me! Gambit. You're like the next day, you just get on like the highest level somehow already.
Bro,
I'm like, Manny, what were you doing?
Bro, I ended up
I
buying all
beat
these.
everything. I beat everything. I did all of it.
What about all the timed content that's coming? I beat those too.
I even finished the Triumph update early.
But man, that's 10 years worth of content. What the fuck? Good luck.
What? What? Bro, you're not gonna expect me to. Oh, okay. We're just starting. Sure. Okay. So we're just playing Halo now, huh?
Don't die with your moats, Manny.
Huh?
Don't die with your moats.
What? What?
Don't die with your moats.
What do you mean? What?
Yeah.
Huh?
Don't die with your moats. I'll kill you.
Oh, okay. Bro, I'm so fucking lost. You're just dropping in this. I'm putting you into war right now.
I'm dropping you in the middle of a war zone. Good luck. Oh, they got me. But I got one. Manny, what we losing?
Yeah. I don't know.
Find that bitch! I got him. To the boss, quick. Yeah, Manny, we won!
Yeah.
We won, Manny! We won, Manny! Ah! I think my postmaster might be full.
Look at my chopped ass.
Manny, you know what I just took you into? Because this ain't a raid.
I don't know what this is, I'm not gonna lie.
You'll see.
Motherfucker!
How did I not kill him?
Fuck.
Manny, I took it to PvP.
I see that. Oh, you like your skill? Oh, you like your...
You like your abilities?
Let me test him out for you.
Oh, fuck! Manny, I got sucked!
I'm dying fucking immediately.
Yeah, this is Mayhem. It's all... It's... Oh my god! Manny, we won? We did not win, I lost.
No, dude, we got fucking bodied.
Manny, do you see this all the way over here?
See what?
Do you see this?
What the fuck? Did you go through that wall?
There's a wall there?
Eh.
Can you not...
There's like a little elevated. There's like a cliff here,
Is there?
or not cliff.
Where?
It's like a rock formation in front of me. Yeah, you went through the wall. Oh yeah.
I'm coming back, I'm coming back.
Whee!
Before there was a beginning, there was once a garden. In this garden were two beings, the gardener and the winnower. In this garden, they played a game, the flower game. The rules of the flower game were: 1. A living flower with fewer than 2 living neighbors die. 2. A living flower with 2 or 3 living neighbors live. 3. A living flower with more than 3 living neighbors die. 4. A dead flower with exactly 3 living neighbors is reborn. The purpose of the flower game was to end with a pattern dominating the rest. A final shape. A pattern that exerted its right to exist. One day, the gardener got bored of the game. She argued with the winnower. She argued that the game always ends the same. There's no room for growth, for possibility. She argued that they should introduce a new rule to the game, some sort of power that will uplift those being trampled. She argued that if a pattern is given power, they will not yield to temptation, nor to the idea of the final shape. That if given power, they would build a gentle kingdom ringed in spears. That they would be selfless, they would protect. The winnower fought against that idea, claiming giving existence to those who did not earn it will leave them screaming in pain and suffering. The pattern is always the same. The flowers always end in one final shape. And that's natural. That the game doesn't need to change. In the end, they fought. They tumbled through the garden. They left footprints in the clay. They rolled through bushes, destroying many flowers. And finally, they felled the original tree of silver wings. The gardener had enough, and she escaped into what is now creation. She became a permanent role to the game, changing the flower game forever. The winnower wasn't having it though, and pursued her. And in following her, he discovered in his hand the first knife. They both introduced paracausality into the game, and now they play for keeps. No more flower game, no more infinite chance of possibilities. One universe, one timeline, to end in favor of the gardener or the winnower's philosophy. The gardener brought in light. She promotes complexity, selflessness, and growth. The winnower brought in darkness. He promotes simplicity, selfishness, and the final shape. A very long time ago, on a planet with an unknown name, lived a race that were dubbed the Precursors. They were a desert-faring people, struggling for survival, bolstered by hope. One day, their hope became reality. The gardener burst from the ground, appearing above the Precursors as a giant white ball. The gardener gifted them the light, knowledge, and prosperity. They were ushered into a golden age that lasted for eons, until they reached philosophical stagnation. The precursors sought meaning and purpose, but their silent god gave no answers. Frustrated, they flew out into the stars and discovered an entity they believed was linked to the Gardener. They called it the Veil. With the Veil, they discovered darkness. They brought it back to the Gardener, and she fled their world. Enraged, the precursors had enacted a ritual with the Veil. They used its darkness to leave their bodies behind, to merge their consciousness to create an entity that would be their salvation. An entity that understood that light would bring ruin if left unchecked. They created the first knife, the Witness. The Witness has been chasing down the Gardener for eons. Every planet, every race she uplifted, the Witness arrived and destroyed everything. Out of hatred. Eventually, the Gardener made it to Sol, to Earth. Here, we discovered her on Mars, terraforming it, rain. Here, she granted us the light, prosperity, a golden age. The same gifts she has blessed to past civilizations, she gave to us. We called her the Traveler. Then, the Witness arrived. With it, its mass armada of pyramid ships. The Black Fleet. The Witness had wrought a collapse that had stretched for a couple years. Humanity had not fallen in just a few months though. The Witness tortured humanity. It tortured the Traveler. It was close to achieving its final shape, but it got betrayed. Savathun, the Witch Queen, killed one of the Witness's disciples, Nezarec, the final god of pain. Nezarec held the Veil, and Savathun stole it, hiding it on Neptune. Afterwards, she pulled a great trick, an illusion to trick the Witness that the Traveler had died, while simultaneously, the Traveler pushing the Witness and its Black Fleet away with her light. In her dying breath, the Traveler birthed the Ghost. Thus, the end of the collapse. Collapse had ended. The Witness pushed back. Elixni arrived to Sol after chasing the Traveler down, Cabal in pursuit for the exact same reason, and the Hive were here as forces of the Witness to kill the Traveler. The Vex were off doing their own thing. After the collapse, the Dark Age began. Ghosts were resurrecting humans. They were dubbed Lightbearers. At this point in time, they were proving the Winnower's philosophy right. They were given power, and they used this power to trample over the weak and helpless. But there were good Lightbearers, and they fought against the Warlords. During the Dark Age, you had Warlords, who were bad Lightbearers, and Iron Lords, who were good Lightbearers. Eventually, this Lightbearer civil war ended, and a pocket of humanity followed a man known as the Speaker to a safe haven right beneath the Traveler who was floating in the sky. Here, this pocket of humanity built a city, the last safe city on Earth. This was known as the City Age. Fast forwarding, our Ghost finds us in the Cosmodrome. He's been looking for us for a very long time. He guides us through the wall of the Cosmodrome. He introduces us to the Fallen, and we pick up our very first rifle, Kvostov. Our goal is to make our way to the last city, so we need to find a jump ship. We do, but it doesn't have a jump drive. We fly the Arcadia class jump ship to the city, and that is where we are introduced to the Destiny 1 tower, the Vanguard, which consists of Zavala Ikora and Cade 6, Banshee 44 the Gunsmith, Rahul, Zur, an Agent of the Nine, Shax, and more. We are given the spiel of what a Guardian is, what class you chose, and the three elements of the light, Solar, Arc, and Void. We then get an audience with the Speaker, who explains to us of the Traveler's sacrifice, our role as a Guardian, and our goal in healing the Traveler. After acquiring our jump drive, we visit many destinations. We go to the moon and fight Hive, three-eyed bugs who have parasitic worms inside them that grant them darkness powers. We go to Venus and fight Vex, an actual hive mind of microscopic life that look like milk and puppet machine bodies. They cannot predict nor understand light and dark. We go to Mars and fight Cabal, space warriors that were never uplifted by the light nor touched by darkness. And we go to the Reef to meet the Awoken, a subspecies of humanity where the collision of light and dark during the collapse created them. We meet with the Awoken as we need entry to a place called the Black Garden, theorized to be the original garden from the pre-universe. We want to go there so we can destroy the Black Heart and start healing the Traveler. The Awoken sent us to Mars to kill a Gate Lord to retrieve its eye, and it was a test. We use the Eye of the Gatelord to access the Black Heart. We go in and we kill it. What wasn't revealed at the time was that the Black Heart was a trap to alert the witness if the Traveler was alive. But at that point in time, the heart is dead and the Traveler is now properly healing. After the events of the Destiny 1 vanilla campaign, we get sent to Venus to deal with the Vex threat. We head into a Vex stronghold called the Vault of Glass. Here is where the Vex have absolute dominion over space-time. We mow down Vex to finally reach the entity known as Atheon, Time's Conflux. We make our own fate and strike Atheon down, ending the Vex threat. We now move on to the Dark Below. An ex-guardian named Eris Morn has come to the tower. She told us of a hive god called Crota, and his return is imminent. Crota is responsible for a traumatic incident called the Great Disaster, a tragedy where Crota permanently killed thousands of guardians in one swing of his sword. Eris and her fire team went down into the lunar pit and tried to kill Crota, but they failed. She remained the only survivor and now clutches an Ahamkara bone that had granted her hive abilities from a wish she made to escape the pit. Throughout the campaign, Eris teaches us about the Hive and Crota, and we get a breadcrumb of his father, Oryx. Our goal is to stop his resurrection, and we do. Kind of. We now need to head down into the pit, entering Crota's throne world and kill him once and for all in the Crota's End raid. The next expansion, House of Wolves. Marasov calls upon us to cash in the favor we owed her for assisting us with opening the door to the Black Garden. An Elixni named Skolas escapes awoken imprisonment and allies himself with a mercenary group called the Silent Fang. Skolas wants to raid and manipulate Vex technology to pull the House of Wolves through time. The expansion ends with his capture and execution, restoring Queen Marasov's dominion over the reef. Crota had a father, Oryx, and he's here now, in Seoul, and pissed off. He's here to avenge his son. Marasov and the Awoken stop him at the Rings of Saturn. And that is where Oryx waited for his son's killer, us. This is where we meet a true hive god. Oryx has the power to take, an ability that imposes one's will over another absolutely, creating a perfect soldier. Oryx began to take Elixni, Cabal, Vex, and his own hive. He sent an army after us, and we mowed them all down. In this expansion, we also discover the third missing light subclass, depending on your class. For Warlocks, Stormcaller Arc subclass. For Titans, Sunbreaker Solar subclass. For Hunters, Nightstalker Void subclass. We make it to his Dreadnought and we duke it out, defeating Oryx. He isn't dead though, and he uses his taken power to take himself. He escapes to his throne world. But just like his son, we go into the Dreadnought to access his throne world and we kill Oryx in the King's Fall raid. During the events of the Taken King, we ventured into the Dreadnought to stop two Cabal dubbed the Shield Brothers. Their goal was to implode the Dreadnought, but it would have taken out half of the entire solar system. We stopped them, but they send out a distress signal to the Cabal Empire. Nothing happens with that for a while. The Taken crisis is now over. Oryx and Crota are dead, but now the Siva crisis is here. The Elixni love technology, and they discover Golden Age human tech called Siva, a self-replicating nanotechnology. The Elixni use Siva to enhance themselves like crazy, and they even go as far as experiment on the Hive by infusing the Hive with Siva, taking over the Hive. We stop the Elixni by destroying Siva replication chambers, and in the Wrath of the Machine raid, we kill the Archon Aksis. The Siva crisis is now over. During the events of the Taken King, we ventured into the Dreadnought to stop the Shield Brothers. The Cabal and the Dreadnought sent out a distress signal to the Cabal Empire. They finally answered. A sect of the Cabal Empire's military, known for never knowing defeat, have made their way to Seoul, the Red Legion. They came to Seoul to subjugate the Traveler, to capture the Light, to empower their forces. Dominus Gall, leader of the Red Legion, stripped the Light from all Guardians and began a genocide of all non-Cabal in Seoul. The Red Legion destroyed the tower and took everything we held dear, including our loot. We survived the initial attack. Humans save us, and we go to a new social space called The Farm that is located in a new destination on Earth, the European Dead Zone. We feel a pull towards a corrupted shard of the Traveler that she had ejected from herself during the collapse. After making our way through the dark forest, we come upon a shard of the Traveler, and here is where she grants us the light. We can now use the light innately. We blast through the Red Legion, and we put Gall down, freeing the Traveler. As soon as the Traveler breaks free from her cage, she sends out a wave of light that spreads throughout the universe. Her freedom alerts the Black Fleet, and now the Witness is on its way. In the next expansion, Curse of Osiris, we get sent to Mercury because Ikora's version of the FBI, called the Hidden, find her old mentor's ghost, Sagira. The mentor's name is Osiris. We take Sagira to the EDZ and head to an old Osiris temple. She takes over our ghost. She then leads us with Ikora to Mercury to save Osiris, who is now fighting a Vex mind that is capable of predicting light and dark. This is a huge no-no, as that would mean the Vex have a chance at dominating all of reality, turning everything into Vex. We venture into the reality engine, where this Vex mind resides, the Infinite Forest, a reality engine where they are able to make perfect replicas of any point in time, whole universes simulated. That is where we defeat Panoptes, the Vex mind, and give Sagira back to Osiris. In the expansion afterwards, Warmind, we get a distress signal call from a famous hunter, Anna Bray. She needs our help, and we go to Mars. On Mars, we fight Hive that have been unfrozen, climbing from the earth beneath. Anna is trying to get to an old Braytech facility that houses the Golden Age AI, Rasputin, who we previously thought was based on Earth. Nokris, another son of Oryx, partnered with a Hive worm god, Zol. Zol is the weakest of the worm gods. Their goal was to destroy Rasputin, so our goal was to kill Zol and Nokris. We did, and Rasputin is now fully awake and aware. A riot has broken out in an awoken prison of elders. Prison riot was instigated by Varix, once loyal to Queen Marasov. The Hunter Vanguard, Cade 6, brings us along with him to meet up with Marasov's second-in-command, PeptoBismel. We are here to eliminate the prison riot. We go through many cell blocks whilst committing whimsical and silly hijinks with Cade 6, having a contest of who can kill more prisoners between the two of us. PeptoBismel discovers that this isn't a prison riot, it's a prison break. We see several large cryopods opened up, empty. Cade 6 jumps up onto a giant ball-looking building, shoots what remaining support there is for it, and crashes it several floors down. This is where we're introduced to the Scorn Barons. Fikral, he's the leader, can resurrect dead Elixni with Dark Ether, turning them into Scorn, aka Elixni zombies. Elicris, the Machinist. Hyrax, the Mindbender. Araskis, the Trickster. Rexus Vaughn, the Hangman. Canix, the Mad Bomber. Pyrrha, the Rifleman, and Yavix, the Rider. Pyrrha has gotten his hands on a Devourer bullet. A bullet that is capable of permanently severing a Guardian from the light, preventing their ghosts from resurrecting them. The Barons unleash a horde of Scorn onto Cade. We're nowhere nearby to come assist him. He ultimately wins that fight, but he was beaten up pretty badly. He pulls out his ghost, Sundance, to heal him. This is where Pyrrha uses his sniper to take out Sundance. Sundance dies. The Scorn Barons start surrounding Cade, and then begin to pummel him. Fikral's boss, Odrin Sov, Queen Marasov's brother, walks up to Cade and picks up his hand cannon, Ace of Spades. Both have a brief verbal spat, and before Odrin shoots Cade, Cade looks up at him and says, "How's your sister?" We rush in at the last second to save Cade, but we were too late. We take Cade's corpse back to the tower, where Zavala and Ikora grieve for their fallen friend and fireteam member. Ikora is enraged. She wants revenge. Zavala forbids it, as Guardians are not conquerors, and we cannot raise the Tangled Shore. We speak up and state we will get revenge. We will avenge Cade 6. We make our way to the Tangled Shore, a destination set within the asteroid belt, just like the Reef, to meet up with PeptoBismel. She introduces us to a crime lord called the Spider. We strike a deal with Spider in which we help him out with keeping order on the Tangled Shore and collect debts people owe to him. And in return, he gives us the location of each Baron. One by one, the Scorn Barons fall. We make it to Fikral, and we end him, but not once and for all. Fikral is immortal, truly immortal, like a Guardian or Nezarec. A wish from an Ahamkara changed the ether in his body, creating Dark Ether. This also grants him the ability to resurrect the Elixni into Scorn, as stated earlier. After killing Fikral, we make our way into a giant awoken tower that turns out to be a gate to a secret awoken city, the Dreaming City. This is where we fight Odrin, who got swallowed up by a giant meatball called the Voice of Riven. This meatball was being puppeted by Riven of 1,000 Voices, the last Ahamkara, a wish dragon. She had also possessed Odrin, which is what led to the entire plot of Forsaken and Cade's death. We destroy the meatball and out pops Odrin. We pick up the Ace of Spades. PeptoBismel also arrives and begins to point her gun at Odrin. Our ghost teleports out and butts in the conversation, and believes it isn't right to kill Odrin, that he's defenseless and weak. Petra Venge verbally retaliates, and we agree with her. Both us and Petra point our guns at Aldrin. The screen turns black, and we both kill Aldrin at the same time. Sometime in the year Forsaken, we see Aldrin get resurrected by a ghost called Glint. Aldrin is now a guardian. In the Shadowkeep expansion, we return to the moon. Something on the moon has put the Hive into a frenzy. We are sent to the moon by the Vanguard, and we're tasked with finding Eris Morn, who is also on the moon, somewhere. The moon has new architecture. A giant red tower, called the Scarlet Keep, towers above the pits of the Hellmouth. We trudge our way through Hive and make our way through tunnels. We begin to fight things that look like Hive but aren't Hive. We make our way through an opening, and that's where we discover a pyramid ship for the first time. The lunar pyramid has a defense mechanism: nightmares. It uses darkness to pull out negative emotions and memories to create ghostly looking entities of people you would recognize to cause emotional turmoil and distress. To basically put you into pain. A nightmare of Crota spawns on us, but Eris Morn saves us. When we finally make it to her in person, she explains that the pyramid has been here in dormancy for who knows how long. The Hive have a way to ward off nightmares though, which is why they aren't affected by its defense mechanism. The plan is to find out how they're not getting hit with the nightmares. We learn the Hive have an item called the Cryptoglyph, and it has the power to infuse nightmare essence into armor Eris gives us. As we begin to gear up, we begin to take out nightmares of our past enemies. Nightmares of Omnigul, nightmares of Crota, nightmares of Dominus Gaul, nightmares of Fikrul, nightmares of Skolas, nightmares of Tanyx, nightmares of Fogoth, and nightmares of Zydron. When killing these nightmares, we take their specific essence, which grants us complete immunity over the Lunar Pyramid's nightmare defense system. We enter the pyramid and something begins to take over our ghost. It speaks to us in a way a priest would speak to indoctrinate you. This entity attempts to convince us that the light is the source of all of our suffering, that it couldn't save Cade. We fight through old nightmares of Crota, Fikrul, and Gaul. And finally we make it to a statue of a veiled woman, and this entity gives us an orb. It has no name. The orb turns out to be giving off a signal that sends us into the Black Garden to deal with the Vex there. This was another attempt by the entity to corrupt us. Shadowkeep also began to introduce the live service model for Destiny 2. This is where seasons were introduced. I'm not going to cover each seasonal story, only the ending of that year that leads into the next expansion. So for Shadowkeep, the final season is Arrivals. The Black Fleet is here, and they immediately kill Rasputin like it was nothing. One giant pyramid occupied Mercury, Titan, Io, and Mars, which are the indoor reasons why the destinations are not in the game anymore. Savathun, the Hive God of Cunning, and one of Oryx's two sisters, the other being Sivu Arath, has been interfering with the Black Fleet's communication with us. In the end, the Black Fleet get their message through, and this voice that possesses our ghost tells us to seek out ancient power on Europa. There was also a live event at the end of Arrivals. As the pyramids drew closer to Earth, the Traveler reformed herself and pushed back the pyramid ships once again. With the Beyond Light expansion, we get called to Europa to seek out this ancient power. When we arrive, there is a pyramid ship out in the open. As we make our way towards it, Elixni arrive to attack us. These Elixni are members of the House of Salvation. They came to Europa to harness the power of darkness, Stasis. With Stasis, they would plan to destroy the Traveler and all Guardians. All of this led by Aramis and her council. On Europa, we meet an Exo-woman that we had encountered back in Destiny 1. The same woman responsible for sending us on our journey to destroy the Black Heart. The Exo-Stranger, also known as Zosi Bray. She steals the Splinter of Darkness, what House Salvation uses to wield Stasis. Varix is on Europa. Varix is the instigator from the prison riot. Varix is the instigator of the prison break back in Forsaken that led to Cade 6's death. In the aftermath of Beyond Light, Varix isn't taken into Vanguard custody to face trial. Instead, he's exiled to stay on Europa. If he leaves, he has the Guardian to answer to. Elsie gives us the Splinter and introduces us to Stasis, aiding us in learning this dark power. She is our Stasis mentor. At the same time of us learning Stasis, we are guided by Varix to handle House Salvation and Aramis. One by one, we take out members of Aramis's council. Once we confront Aramis, she destroyed our Splinter and froze Ghost. No more light, no more dark. For the first time since the Red War, we're utterly helpless. At that moment, it was revealed that you don't need tools to wield darkness. Darkness comes from within. We break through Aramis's Stasis attack and unfreeze our Ghost. We fight Aramis whilst the European pyramid watches us from a distance. We defeat Aramis, but she doesn't die. Her technology backfires and works against her. and then she gets frozen by stasis. That's the end of Beyond Light. Throughout the year of Beyond Light, there were seasonal stories that built up the next expansion, all leading to the Witch Queen. The story involving the resurrected Origin Sol, the Crow, starts taking shape. Later in the year, his identity is now exposed. Savathun had also taken over Osiris' body after he went down into the Hellmouth to deal with Xivu Arath. Xivu killed Sagira. Savathun then saves Osiris. Throughout the year of Beyond Light, Savathun, posed as Osiris, gathered as much information as she could of what we had about the light, ghosts, and guardians. In the final season of Beyond Light, Savathun makes a deal with Mara Sov to exercise her worm. In that same season, Savathun was experimenting with memory and granted the Crow all of his memories, so now he remembers himself being Aldrin. He begins to have an identity crisis. The exorcism works and Savathun disappears, but Osiris returns to us, albeit in a comatose state. With the Witch Queen, Mars returns suddenly. On top of that, Savathun's dreadnought appears over the cradle where the Traveler first arrived on Mars back when humanity first discovered her. And on top of that, a pyramidal architecture showed itself on Mars, and that is also where you craft your weapons. Mars is back, and it has a lot of scars on it. It looks like Mars got clawed with taken energy. When you start the Witch Queen campaign, you fight through hordes of Kaido's Cabal, who are trying to push Savathun back. We take one of their lifts and cannonball ourselves onto Savathun's dreadnought. As we explore it, we try to find out where Savathun is. We make it into this room with a giant hive portal, and there spawns the very first hive lightbearer we have ever seen, and we don't know where this hive lightbearer came from. We kill it, and then we crush its ghost, perma-killing that lightbearer. Throughout the Witch Queen campaign, you are under the impression that Savathun stole the light, because many ghosts have defected from humanity to go resurrect dead hive, turning them into hive lightbearers. We enter Savathun's throne world from her dreadnought, and this is where Ikora, her hidden, and the new ally that's a hive ghost called Finch, begin detective work on how Savathun stole the light. We learn a new darkness ability called Deep Sight, using darkness to reveal memories. This is also where we begin to learn what darkness truly is, and how it isn't really an evil force, a theme that started in Beyond Light. With Deep Sight, we unintentionally fall into a great trick Savathun planned. We give her memories back. From her memories, we learn that she didn't steal the light. It was given to her, reiterating the years-long canon that light isn't taken, it's given. While with darkness, it isn't given, it's taken, following the Gardener and the Winnower's philosophies. The Guardian tenets: devotion, bravery, sacrifice, death. Savathun fulfilled those quotas. And the Gardener believes in second chances. We find Savathun's worm that was left in the temple she tried to bury underground. Finch tipped the location off. We give the worm to Ikora and she takes it to the crafting room on Mars. She uses the darkness there to show a memory that's within the worm. This is where the Witness's voice is officially revealed. The Witness had tricked the Hive, forcing them to abandon the Traveler billions of years ago from a false prophecy it had created. We use this memory against Savathun in the final battle, but she believes we're lying. She never had this memory, we never gave it to her, it's new to her. We overpower and kill her. And before she dies, she warns us, telling us she tried to help, she tried to save the universe. But now, the game is ours to win or lose, and the Witness is coming. So we spend the year of Witch Queen preparing against the Witness. Throughout this year, we learned that Callus, a former Cabal Emperor, gave himself to the Witness after spending years looking for it. He successfully becomes a disciple of the Witness. Towards the end of that year, with the final season, Aramis got unfrozen by the Witness and was manipulated into doing its bidding. She took over Rasputin's Warsat network, whilst Rasputin was still quote-unquote dead. We spend that season rebuilding Rasputin alongside Anna Bray and regain his access to his Warsat network. At the end of the season, Aramis gets coaxed harder by the Witness to fire the Warsat weapons at the Traveler, and this plan was to also overwhelm Earth. Xivu Arath was preparing a ritual that would open a giant portal above the skies of Earth once an act of war was tributed to her. That's why the Witness forced Aramis into taking over Rasputin's Warsat network, to commit an act of war from us defending ourselves, but put a stalemate, which technically is a loss for Xivu Arath and Aramis, but it still works in the Witness's favor. The Warsats get deactivated by Rasputin, because Rasputin killed himself. He sacrificed his life to save the Traveler, humanity, and Anna Bray. The Traveler then begins to leave the city. It starts floating up above, but it's not running away. Now, the Traveler floats above the Earth, in preparation to stand against the Witness and its Black Fleet. I'm going to briefly summarize Lightfall as its story is a mess, and even playing through it, New Light struggled to understand the what, why, and how with story elements in Lightfall's narrative. Before the events of Lightfall, Osiris wakes up from his coma and has gotten information from Savathun via some form of mental link he has with her from when she possessed him. He is fixated on the immense power of the Witness and the object it's after, the Veil. We chase after Osiris and head to Neptune where the Veil is located. Turns out a secret colony of humanity had survived the collapse. We would have been them if the Witness hadn't caused our collapse. The city we arrive in, and where the Veil is located, is called Neomuna. Humanity on Earth have guardians to protect them, while the Neomuni didn't. So they created a super soldier called a Cloud Strider, and there are always two, a mentor and a student. Due to the heavy and intense body modifications, the lifespan of a Cloud Strider has been reduced to 10 years. We meet and work with the Cloud Striders Rohan and Nimbus to push the Cabal force back. While we're in the midst of assisting Osiris and the Cloud Striders in defending the Veil, we discover a newfound darkness power, Strand. This is a brand new power, not even the Witness knew about it. Strand is a byproduct of the immense power of the Veil. The Veil also acts as a MacGuffin in attempting to make us care for the Neomuni as fast as possible by horribly explaining the Neomuni rely on the Veil as it powers the Cloud Arc, a system the Neomuni developed that is a digital version of Neomuna. At the end of the campaign, Callus blasts a hole through the Veil's containment. We chase after him, and we have a final battle with him. We kill him, but the story doesn't end there. We lose in Lightfall. The Witness possesses our ghost as it has done in the past, and links the light of our ghost with the Veil, thus ending Lightfall's campaign with our loss. The Witness links the Veil with the Traveler to slice open a portal that leads inside the trap. Throughout the year of Lightfall, we finally get answers to all the questions that were not answered in the Lightfall campaign, which is why the expansion is so hated. We get answers as to what the Witness is, what the Veil is, and where the pyramid ships came from. The Vanguard have exhausted all efforts into trying to enter the portal the Witness went through. In Season of the Deep, the second season of the year of Lightfall, we return to Titan. Here, we meet an entity called Asa, who is a proto-worm, which is a light-aligned version of a hive worm god. They are what the hive worm gods used to be before they got corrupted by darkness. After completing the narrative of that season, at the very end, Asa has a message for us. She tells us that the only person that knows how to enter the Traveler is the currently dead Savathun. So, in the following season, Season of the Witch, we work with Savathun's ghost Imaru to help grant Eris immense power with hive magic. In exchange, we would allow Imaru to resurrect Savathun. At the end of the season, Imaru resurrects Savathun, and Eris immediately kills her to gain billions of years worth of hive magic power. She becomes the most powerful hive god for mere moments, and she expends that power by permanently cutting off Xivu Arath from her throne world, thus making her mortal. Following that, Imaru resurrects Savathun again, and we somehow find a pattern from a long-lost wish on Savathun's wings. We take this information to Mara, Sov, and Osiris, and the final season of the year, we reunite with Riven of 1,000 Voices. She's not alive though. Mara had Techians, which are basically like super advanced Awoken that possess technology that's basically still magic to us, but it's technology, to summon Riven from beyond the grave pretty much. Since technically Ahamkara persists after death. We strike a bargain with her in where we gather all of her brood eggs, and in exchange she'll grant our wish. At the end of the season, we complete our end of the deal, but Riven pulls out one last trick. The wish can only be used to send one person through the portal. His anomalous bond with his sister Marasov can be utilized to link them with Strand to stabilize a path through the portal. The final shape looms. The longer the Witness stays inside the Traveler wrestling control over the light, the closer its twisted version of the final shape arrives. With the link Osiris builds, we are the spearhead going into the portal. We finally make it through the threshold, and the Traveler welcomes us in. We follow a bird made of light, and we get a vision of the Traveler being succumbed by darkness. Then we get a vision of Prismatic. We make it inside the Traveler. We make it to the pale heart of the Traveler. The pale heart of the Traveler constructs itself from memory, thanks to the darkness being introduced to the Traveler. Here is where it's reiterated over and over and over again that light is the domain of the physical, whilst darkness is the domain of consciousness and memory. We make it to a recreation of the old tower from Destiny 1. We enter the old Vanguard command room, and here we see a shiny pink circular crack in the ground. There's an immense amount of light and dark power radiating from this spot. When we approach this immense power from the pink crack in the ground, the line between light and dark is completely erased. We unlock Prismatic. The line is no longer blurred. There is no crossing. we can meld light and dark together how it was once in the pre-universe. One force, one power. The moment is quick though, as we pass through the hallway and make it to the tower courtyard. A bunch of the new enemy race, the Dread, come and fight us. The Dread are an enemy race created by the Witness to specifically fight us. And that's how much of a threat the Witness sees us as. We beat this first wave of Dread, and that's it. We place our transmat beacon down, but in the distance, we see a giant black monolith. After staring at it for a bit and talking with our ghost, we begin to hear a harmonica playing, slowly making our way to the source of the music. This is where we reunite with Cade 6, who somehow came back to life. And Sundance isn't nearby though. In the campaign, we are tasked with finding Zavala and Ikora whilst avoiding the Witness's temptation of unlimited power. We get Zavala, Ikora, and Cade back together, and they get to speak together again too. As we trek towards the Witness's monolith, Crow reveals Cade is back due to an accidental wish he made with Riven. Cade reveals that before Riven pulled him back to life, he was in an afterlife with Sundance. It turns out there's an afterlife in Destiny, and more specifically for Guardians. It's unconfirmed if there's a general afterlife for non-light bearers and non-ghosts. We also get an answer as to what the veiled statues are. They're conduits of darkness the Witness uses to communicate and corrupt, or they're used to imprison parts of the hive mind that make up the Witness that are dubbed dissenters. In the Final Shape campaign, a dissenter reaches out to Zavala and guides him to a place of potent darkness so they could communicate more clearly. He delves into the deep and they begin to speak with him, giving him visual memory of how the Witness was created. But the Witness interrupts and tries to corrupt Zavala. His ghost, Taj, rushes up to the Witness and basically kamikazes it whilst calling it a pussy. Then Taj dies. The Witness kills it. We then learn from the dissenters on how to defeat the Witness. Go to the place where it was made. Because of how the Pale Heart works, the ritual site of where the Witness was made has been rebuilt at its monolith. So that's where we go. We climb the Witness's monolith and have the first one-on-one fight with it. The Traveler grants us a sword of pure light, and we enter the same door of darkness Zavala went through, but this time we get teleported into the Witness's consciousness. This is where we begin to sever the consciousness of the Witness, one dissenter at a time. In the end, the Witness overwhelms us and the Vanguard, and begins to lash out in this many-armed god mode. This leads into the raid, Salvation's Edge. The raid fire team, which includes your Guardian, climbs through the monolith to go and fight the Witness. We weaken the Witness further, but we don't kill it. It runs away like a little bitch. The final shape is now looming. It's getting closer, and the Witness gloats about us delaying the inevitable. The first and last 12-man activity called Excision is where the final battle takes place. Humanity, Hive, Elixni, Ball, and Guardians, we all band together for the final confrontation. We again delve into the Witness's hive mind and wield the Sword of Light the Traveler bestowed upon us to sever more of these dissenters, freeing them from this hell. Once the Witness is weakened enough, we supercharge our ghost with light. We kill the Witness. We end the war of light and dark.
No! Ghost? Please. Bring him back. He's just a ghost. You raised an army. You can bring back one ghost.
He sure shined bright back there, huh?
Cade.
What comes from the light returns to the light. My gal Sundance told me that. She also said we're all connected. Guardians, ghosts, the Traveler. Now you tell the others this was my choice. My light. Nobody makes my fate but me. You're my favorite. Don't ever forget that.
Guardian. There you are.
It's definitely healing, but we've still got a lot of work to do. Surviving witness forces, clashes with the Lucent Brood.
So much change. We've been fighting for so long. And now we've won.
I thought it would feel different.
Well, maybe because we haven't celebrated it yet. Guardian, Ghost, you're just in time. Tell them Cade wouldn't let a little work get in the way of having a good time.
You're right. For now, our task is appreciating this moment.
And after that?
We'll face the future when it comes.
In the aftermath of the final shape, the collision of light and dark with the witness's death created omnipotent objects called echoes. We track them and deal with them with the episodes, but I will not be going over them. If you want Destiny lore that goes in depth, more detail, and covers seasonal stories too, you should check out My Name is Bife. I've been listening to Bife's lore videos for years. He's really good, and he has the entire Destiny story that's like a 10 or 12 hour video that goes into detail from Destiny 1 to the final shape. The point of this section of the video is to give a summary of each expansion of each campaign and basically just keep it here as a tribute to the stories that were told over 10 years. Now, we move on to the interview section of the video. Hello, Crane Carter, aka Manny. How are you doing today?
Hello, I'm doing just fine, and you?
Loki, I got a fucking shard. Could you introduce yourself to our viewers?
Yes, my name is Crane Carter, and I'm an artist and an animator. I also have a YouTube channel of the same name, where you can see said animations and such.
Thank you very much. A link to his channel will be in the description. Now, the reason why I brought you here today, Manny, and it's not because I'm going to torture your booty hole later. I'm going to ask you some questions about Destiny. And as a new light, your fresh experience with the game is very important to Destiny's past and future. How did you first hear about Destiny?
My first experience with Destiny was back in like a couple years ago. I remember I was just my older cousin place, and he had his PlayStation there, and he had Destiny, I think it was Destiny 1 or 2, one of the two, on it. And I played for a little bit. I did some things, and I don't think I got past the first mission after that, though. I only played for a little bit. But he did show me some few things about it. And then later on, I did hear about it again on YouTube, on some videos, which I think it was early Destiny 2 days, probably somewhere around that. And then later on, after the two of us met at school, there's that time you did talk about Destiny and me being interested about it, but never played it until just recently at the end of Destiny's life, rest in peace, with the moment of triumph. And that's where I started playing the game fully, and I actually enjoyed it a lot more than I expected.
So, as a new light, how has the introduction of the game hooked or pushed you away?
It hooked me a lot more than it pushed me away. Before the update, the introduction stuff was fine. I did play a bit of it before, but that was been like a couple years since I've played it. The last time it was. In terms of like how the game teaches you stuff and all that, I don't think it teached much in the game, so I more had to get you to tell me more on the information and how the game works, and so and so. It's more like 50-50 on how good the game tells you stuff.
When Destiny finally clicked for you, what were your aspirations? What made you want to continue playing?
Looting and getting through the story and getting more powerful.
Bro saw as soon as he started killing poor weak enemies, and he got godlike power upon resurrection. Oh, give me more! Give me your fucking kidney stones. Bro's gonna, those necklaces with shells on them. Instead of that, it's just different types of organs and kidney and liver stones.
I have a
and
necklace full of every enemy type ever. So here's the Vex. Here's the.
Here, look at my little jar of Vex milk. Looks like come from the distance. The amount of the story you've played thus far, what's your favorite story or lore bit?
I've been pretty all over the place chronologically, but my favorite one so far has been Renegades. That one was really fun to play through. I really enjoyed the exfiltration missions, and Lightfall critiquing coming. Lightfall was fine. The only good parts were the beginning and the end. Teehee.
The coldest take ever, considering the whole community feels the same.
Yeah.
And that the whole community, even
Yo,
to this
I'm
day,
in the freezer. I'm in the freezer.
Literally, if you look at the beginning and the end cutscene with the helm for Lightfall, it's like it was just one cutscene. Like why were the characters Zavala, Ikora, and Osiris I think it was Elsie just sitting in the helm watching it and then staying there the entire time while we're on Neo
And then
Muna.
jerking it.
They were jerking it. Do you have a favorite Destiny quote? And if so, what is it?
The witness.
That's a really good quote. How did you react to the news of Destiny 2's live service and content development ending?
I was very surprised when I first saw him, like, huh? And so I sent you the tweet about it with a little sad face, and then everything went haywire from there. Though at that time I didn't really have a connection with Destiny. I wasn't a fan of the game yet at that time, so I didn't have much of a connection to it. But I understood that the end of life service is very bad for when a game gets that type of announcement. I understood the struggle of many fans around the world about Destiny ending its live service.
Well, this next question is kind of a two-parter. After hearing about the end of Destiny 2's, live service and its content development, you've played Destiny as well, not just have heard or watched videos about it. Would you want more Destiny? Would you be a Destiny consumer?
Oh yeah, for sure. I would love if we were able to get more updates and I get to enjoy it live day one.
So if Sony backtracked from their decision to cancel Destiny, gave Bungie and its developers the creative freedom and the ability to pull off bigger updates that are of the same quality as Monument of Triumph, would you rather see a Destiny 3 where it is a new installment in the franchise, continuing with whatever story threads the Destiny narrative team decide to pick up from where they left off from the Monument of Triumph? Or would you rather have a Destiny Infinity where it's the entire story from Destiny 1 and Destiny 2 put into one game and then continuing forward with brand new content and story continuing where we left off from the Fate Saga / Monument of Triumph?
I think a game where they had all the story in one place would be really good, and it would be nice if you would be able to transfer some things or have progress transferred and then let you replay those old stories and stories that have been removed before the, if I remember, it's called the Blackout event. That would be really nice to have for a bunch of new players if they do it correctly. And I would like it to also have it continue off where they were going to leave off or start. It would be nice to have a good big old collection of both stories into one package.
Awesome. If you had the opportunity to speak to Sony or Bungie, to someone that had the power to, decide Destiny's fate, what would you tell them?
I'm going to strangle you and fucking kill you. I'm going to become the CEO. No.
I would
what
say.
I would do.
Oh.
Yeah, exactly. No, mostly you would do it.
Mostly all of me.
You should really try and get Destiny back up on its feet and continue what Bungie wanted to tell and work on. Because this most recent update really got a lot of players in, even if it wasn't gonna get its end of life service or not. Because it was a really, in terms of like what they did, it was a pretty big update and a good one.
Hi, I'm PeptoBismel.
Continue.
That's all I have to say.
Yeah, just if I can imagine you of like that low, like as Manny says, it's that low JPEG dog with like the autistic spinning. Hi,
and the lollipop.
So, for the first question, how did you first hear about Destiny?
Oh, God, bro. Okay, this is a really hard question. Dude, it just looked so freaking cool. Well, basically, I was playing it on the Xbox 360, and at the time, as far as I can remember, you didn't like need an online membership, or like you only needed like the cheapest one, but I didn't have any friends to play it with, so I was just playing it alone. But like, I don't know, there wasn't like any other games that were like first person shooter, but also like magical shit. I don't know, something about the art style and just like the general gameplay kind of like drew me in.
Okay. When Destiny finally clicked for you, what were your aspirations? What made you want to continue playing?
I just wanted to collect as much gear as I possibly could and keep like upgrading. And I liked the concept of the more you play, the better gear you get.
Bro's just like Manny. Manny answered that question saying he loves to murder take innocent lives, murdering a whole bunch of his enemies just to plunder their loot.
Oh.
What is your favorite story or lore bit?
From Destiny 1 or just Destiny in general?
In general, from both games.
Well, in Destiny 1, I was broke, so I didn't have money for raids or the expansions or anything, so I was just full on playing regular Destiny, just replaying missions Um, but like my favorite moment, I want to say probably completing the Prestige Leviathan for the first time because my sister was there and it was really fun and really memorable and really rewarding as well.
What is your favorite Destiny quote?
It's too long to quote, but I really like the lore tab. Crow talking to Eris Morn, and like at the end of the lore tab, he has her like firing off golden gun shots, and they're like at a campfire.
How did you react to the news of Destiny 2's live service and content development ending?
Basically, I wanted to die, and I thought about it many nights. Well, I've thought about it every night, and it's really sad. I didn't really have like a reaction because I was like, I don't know if this is true or not. I don't know like if they're actually going through with this. But then I was like, oh, they keep posting about it, so I think it's actually real, and it's not. Yeah, I wasn't like immediately sad at first, but like afterwards when I was like alone, I was like, yeah, this is actually like so sad and like depressing and like the end of a really important era of a lot of people's lives.
Would you want more Destiny? And
Yes.
so, because you said yes, the part 2 is, would you want a Destiny 3 where it is a new installment in the franchise, continuing with whatever story thread the Destiny narrative team decided to pick up from where they left off? Or would you rather have a Destiny Infinity where it's the entire story from Destiny 1 and 2 put into one game and then continuing forward with brand new content and story?
I mean, the idea of combining the games is cool because you don't really have to worry about like, oh, if I want to play Destiny 1, I have to go back a generation to play it. But like, I don't know. If I had my way, I would much prefer Destiny 2 to just keep going. So I guess I would prefer one over the other.
Here's a bonus question that I didn't write down, but I did ask Manny. If you had the ability to speak to an executive at Sony that has the ability to greenlight a Destiny project or to revert the end of service for Destiny 2, what would you say to them to convince them?
I feel like it's kind of hard because I could just tell them like what everybody else has been saying. Like, what's the point in ceasing live service for a game that so many people love? Like, companies are gonna have like moments where it's like, oh, like maybe the decisions we've been making weren't the best, and maybe the last expansion and a half wasn't like the greatest. But like, there's never gonna be another game ever created that's gonna like feel the way that Destiny feels, 1 and 2 included. So like, I think just ceasing all actions, like major updates, all that stuff is kind of just like, we gave it our best shot at the end, but our best shot wasn't really worth it. So I don't know, it kind of just feels like giving up after like a bad stretch of updates. It kind of just feels unfinished, and I don't think that's very fair to people that have been following the game for so long. Some people like half their lives. I think that's you're doing the fans of this IP a huge disservice by just kind of giving up and moving on to the next project. Even though there's like breadcrumbs, it's like, oh well, there could be something. It just sucks to see this go and have it be replaced by something else. And that's what I would say.
Fuck Sony!
Period. Oh yeah, by the way, the lore tab is book 1 from Voices of the Haunted. It is called Temperament.
How did you first hear about Destiny?
I, believe it or not, was not super on the internet until very recently. So I heard about Destiny through my father, who I'm not quite sure how he even heard about Destiny because he's definitely not someone who's on the internet. But he had been playing Destiny 1 since day one and had begged me to play. I entertained that notion for a little bit. My hesitation towards Destiny was nothing to do with Destiny. It was some horrible personal experiences with close friends in both Halo and Call of Duty. So when I found out that Destiny was a first-person shooter, I thought that it meant it was just like Call of Duty and ironically Halo. Of course, I know better than that now. So I made a hunter and played for about 45 minutes and died approximately 8 million times in the first strike that I ran and had a miserable time. So I didn't touch the game again for years. And in that time, my father kept sharing information about Destiny videos. He'd play rounds of Gambit and missions in front of me, and it all looked really interesting. So finally in 2021, when I got a gaming laptop, I decided to download the free version of Destiny 2 and quickly became hooked. So purchased everything I could at that time. That was Season of the Lost, shortly after Beyond Light came out, if I'm getting my timeline correct. And the rest is 5,000 hours of history.
What made you want to try Destiny for the first time?
I figured I'd give it a try, and largely I thought I was giving it a try to prove to myself and to kind of give my dad a definitive answer that no, Destiny was not the game for me. Yeah, it's probably a great game, but nothing I wanted to play. And I think it's really funny because I almost played it largely to like prove to myself that it was in fact not a game I like, when now it's obviously one of the greatest games I've ever played and the game I absolutely have the most time and money into. So it's kind of funny to look back and realize that my first two attempts, one in Destiny 1 and later in Destiny 2, were largely, I felt, forced on me or to prove a point that it wasn't for me, when in fact one of my biggest regrets is not keeping with Destiny when I tried it back in Destiny 1.
When Destiny finally clicked for you, what were your aspirations? What made you want to continue playing Destiny?
When I finally stuck with Destiny 2 that second time and really kept with the game, I was not on socials at all. I had Instagram and I had a Twitter and all of that, but I never used them. So initially, my aspirations were just kind of whatever really cool stuff my dad was showing. Because for the first time, he was playing with somebody, myself, which was brand new to the game, and he would take me sightseeing. He would show me all these little missions and secrets and how to get guns. And my initial aspiration was just to get through a strike without dying. And I know that's really funny to say, especially looking back on some of the things I have accomplished in my time with the game. But that was my initial goal, was to get through a strike without dying. And then my second goal was to get through the Harbinger quest without ricocheting off the cement retaining wall situation that was at the very beginning of that quest. I believe Harbinger was my first exotic quest, and I hated it at first because of how bad I was and I could barely stay alive. So those are my initial goals. And then as I got on social media and started making friends, I branched out into wanting to do raids and then wanting to get raid seals. I've done many solo dungeons and just kind of grew as I grew more capable in the game and I grew more confident in my own abilities, my own skills kind of pushed me to newer challenges. But initially that first goal was to not die in a strike. And what made me want to continue playing Destiny was a couple of different things. First off, I loved getting to experience Destiny, and I still love getting to experience Destiny with the people that I love and care about. So my father, my friends, the people that are important to me, getting to have those core memories of seeing a big reveal. And nothing will beat that feeling of a brand new story coming out for Destiny and hopping in with my dad and just being floored by a story beat or a full of motion video that comes on with this just crazy thing that's happening. Just there's nothing that I'll ever top that, I don't think, in any other game for me for the rest of my life. So it was those experiences with family and friends, as well as just the world itself was so cool. And I joined kind of late. So there was so much lore to catch up on and so many stories to dive into with characters, where as I slowly started accumulating, like, oh, this is my favorite character. Oh, I love the Awoken. The Dreaming City is my favorite thing. What's their situation? What's their deal? And I had years of gaming bits I could go back and play to kind of learn about these people, these beings, the world that they lived in. And I'm a big story nerd. I've been reading since I could. So the narrative for Destiny kept me in as well. So if I had picked two, it'd be the people that I got to play with, the memories I made with them, and then the story. Although, of course, Destiny just is really fun to play. It feels really good. But I think that kind of is a shadow to the more important things, which is the experience and the story.
What is your favorite story or lore bit?
Favorite story or lore bit's really hard. But one of the things that I've always found interesting, and I've talked with other people before, is this idea that when we interact as guardians with the world, like through missions and campaigns, we seem to operate off of the notion that we are these divine entities. I mean, essentially we're immortal with the help of our ghost, and all of our help is desired. So all the things that we choose to do is for the better of what have you, that those people, the planet, the universe. And I think that there is a really interesting layer there of we as guardians, because we're inserting ourselves into these matters, that we believe ourselves to be the heroes, but in fact, we're not always the heroes or the good guys. We may be operating from a place of limiting harm or maximizing good, but we are potentially causing harm or overstepping in some ways. I'm definitely the only person in saying that cinematic where she's talking to the traveler and she says, like, wouldn't it be ironic if after all of this, you just let me die? And then she comes back as a guardian with her own ghost. That whole thing, I'm getting chills talking about it just because it really plays into that question I've always had about the universe, where again, we as guardians have positioned ourselves as like, we're heroes, we're salvation, we are the good guys. But like, are we though? It's just a moral dilemma I've always kind of noticed. So because of that, I really loved and love that storyline.
What is your favorite Destiny quote?
After you beat Perseus and you get the chest, Osiris kind of goes on this little exposition about how he and Saint had this goal of once everything was fixed and saved and wonderful, that they would get to kind of ride off into the stars together and enjoy just being in love and together and explore without the undertone of combat or war or danger. It's just seeing things to see things, experiencing to experience things, and knowing what we know now about the Destiny 2 franchise. The quote hits a little bit harder, but it's always stuck with me since that very first time I heard it because of the longing and the bittersweet and the sadness of it all. Osiris talks about how, Saint and I, we had these dreams, and he ends it with saying, and now there's only the want of more.
How did you react to the news of Destiny 2's live service and content development ending?
So I'll tell you how I heard, and then I'll tell you how it made me feel. I work from home, and I intermittently just drop into Twitter to see what's going on in the universe, and I saw a tweet from Sammy Cat, and I asked her, what do you mean? What are you talking about? And she linked me the article of which announced the end of live service for Destiny 2. And at the time, Fallout was live. So I pulled up his stream in the background and I sat in his stream for probably 4 to 5 hours that day, of course working. But I have his stream in the background, kind of just sitting there in disbelief and shock. I cried about 1,000 times that day. Almost crying now thinking about it. Destiny 2 felt like the thing that was always going to be there to me. Sorry. I always felt like no matter what, I could log in. And I know that the servers are still up for now, and I know that I can still log in and see my guardians and play with my friends. But I always joked that I was going to be so bitter when I got old and died and didn't know the next story be in Destiny 2. Because that's how enduring it felt to me. It felt like I'm 35 for context, and I felt that I would be, hopefully in my 70s still playing. And I know that seems crazy to say. That's another 30 years and maybe is unrealistic. But that's just kind of how much of a pillar Destiny 2 has been in my life. It means the world to my father. It's helped him deal with some really hard things in life where he had his only safe place to go was into the world of Destiny. I've used Destiny like that my entire time playing it. I've played it on happy days. I've logged in when my real life world didn't make sense, because I was safe in the world of Destiny. So I knew it would have to end someday, and realistically, me believing that it would outlive me, I knew was kind of a pie in the sky idea. But I always had this idea that if it had to end, it would have a beautiful send-off. Kind of like how the final shape ended the Dark and Light saga. And we had this, like, just how that all played out. The fight with the Witness, the Excision event with the 12 Guardians, the storyline itself, how it all kind of wrapped up. And it was this kind of beautiful send-off to that story. That's kind of how I always imagined Destiny 2 would end. That we'd kind of have this, like, hey guys, this is the last year of Destiny. And all these beautiful send-offs for the characters that we love and the world that we love so much. And I think that's what hurts the most about this news, is it feels very at odds with the passion that the community and that the devs have for this game. It feels very cold and clinical when there's nothing cold and clinical about how we feel about this game, the world, the devs, everybody involved. I think that's the hardest part to swallow, is that, and I'm not pretending to be an expert on anything, but this is just the best way I can articulate it. It feels like this beautiful piece of art is being killed because it was a bullet point on a financial document on a desk of somebody who, I don't mean to speak for somebody I don't know, but a desk of somebody who doesn't care about art. That's kind of how it feels to me, and that's what makes it even harder. There's never a world where saying goodbye to Destiny would be easy. I remember when they turned the servers off and when they got rid of Tangled Shore, and I remember being on Tangled Shore until I got booted from the game, and that was this really deep sadness for me. I missed a lot. I missed the DCV and all that stuff. That was before me, so I didn't experience any of that. I didn't experience, the ending of D1. So that was my first kind of shock when the Tangled Shore went away. I was like, oh, these things can go away. But yeah, I'm still heartbroken. I don't think there's going to be a day in my life where I will ever look back on Destiny 2 and think about how it ended and not be sad. It's always going to be a sadness for me, but a bittersweet sadness of, I'm so thankful that I got to be a part of it the way that I did and for how long. I just wished, and I wish for the devs, that the game and the beautiful minds behind it all got treated better, and that the ending was better for everyone involved.
Would you want more Destiny?
I absolutely want more Destiny. I never wanted it to end, as, again, unrealistic as that expectation may be. I think that there is some disconnection there where, like, the Land Dark saga ended, and then we have this new tale that was being told, and the transition was a little bit different. I still enjoyed Edge of Fate. I love the 9. Xur has been my best buddy since I knew who Xur was. I've loved all that kind of that the bits of those stories that were already in the game. So when they started introducing that at Edge of Fate, and then they introduced Dredge and Bale, and kind of his story, his character encapsulated what I mentioned previously about the kind of complex existence of a guardian, and how, we're always the good guys and everything, and, of course, to Bale, we're not. And he's a perfect example of that kind of paradox of being a guardian and doing what's best, but is it always best? And so I was really excited to see that storyline play out, because this is kind of the second iteration, in my opinion, the first for me being like the Hive with Ghosts, of like that question of who is morally correct in a situation, or do we just decide might equals right? Those kind of thoughts. So I was really excited to see that storyline with Dredge and Bale expand. I'm also a massive Gambit lover, have been, always will be. I love the Drifter. I love Eris. So getting to see some of my favorite characters kind of highlighted in this new tale, I really wanted to see where it was going. Of course, we got Lodi, who is this precious angel that I really wanted more time with Lodi. His story was cool. Within his story, we got to find out who Ikora was before she was a Guardian, which I cherish that kind of information. I think that's really cool to get to see human Ikora. I absolutely wanted more stories. I absolutely think that the development team behind Destiny 2 is just class act. In general, I think everyone that has ever touched Destiny 1 or 2, some of the best human beings to have ever done the work that they do. And the narrative team within Bungie is no exception. As a giant writing nerd and reader, I have been blessed with Bungie lore, and I wanted to see more lore. I wanted to see storylines wrapped up or where they were going. So I absolutely want more Destiny. Partially because I don't think letting go would ever be easy, but more specifically because there's just so many questions I have. There's so many things I was interested in seeing play out with Dredge and Bale and Lodi and the 9. I was so excited to get the 9. I've always been so intrigued by them since the Prophecy Dungeon. That when I first played it, I didn't know who the 9, this entity was, and I was very excited to see where that was going. So absolutely, give me more Destiny.
Would you want a Destiny 3, where it is a new installment in the franchise, continuing with whatever story thread the Destiny narrative team decided to pick up from where they left off? Or would you rather have a Destiny Infinity, where it's the entire story from Destiny 1 and 2 put into one game, and continuing forward with brand new content and story?
I think this is a really hard question. I like the idea of somehow being able to put all of Destiny 1 and Destiny 2, including the DCV content, which we know wasn't put into a vault necessarily, but jettisoned into a black hole somewhere from what it sounds like. If they could put all of that into like a singular game where you could play through from the beginning of Destiny 1 to Destiny 2 currently, that would be awesome. It is kind of like a pie in the sky again, like high hope, but since we're talking about hopes here, I think that's not outside of the realm to throw out there. I think that'd be really cool. Because like someone who I play Destiny 1, but obviously there's things missing, and I started playing Destiny 2, as I stated, during Season of the Lost, during Beyond Light. So I did get to play Forsaken and Shadowkeep, but of course, I never got to do Red War or any of that any other storylines prior to that. There were already things missing when I started the game, where I remember sitting and watching a 4-hour YouTube video of all the cutscenes in Destiny 2 put together to understand some of the story that I missed. So if they could make it one cohesive title, that would be amazing. I don't know how possible that is, but hey, you know what? Nothing's impossible, right? The issue then is, what would I want Destiny 3 to look like? And I'm going to have to be a little bit negative Nancy here when I say that the reason why I have been kind of always against the idea of a Destiny 3 isn't because I want less Destiny. I want Destiny until I perish. It's because the idea of Destiny 3 to everybody is different. And so it's this kind of nebulous idea that exists as this thing that could save everything, but it's not the same to everybody, because I've asked multiple people, what does Destiny 3 look like to you? And they've all given me different stories or ideas of what they think it could be, which is totally fine. Personally, I originally said I was somebody that if they nuked my vault, if Destiny 2 ended and Destiny 3 was the thing and they just nuked all of your stuff, I said I don't know if I would come back, because I worked super hard in my 5,000 hours to get everything. But I think it's more of a knee-jerk reaction. Realistically, I would jump into anything they did for a new Destiny. I want to see the actual storyline of what they were intending for Dredge and Bale. So if they wanted to do some kind of Destiny 1 through Destiny 2 total and complete storyline, and it ended with previous, so Edge of Fate wasn't part of it somehow, and then Destiny 3 was Edge of Fate, not necessarily replaying it, but somehow this is just me spitballing how I would like to see it, launching into Dredge and Bale's story and the 9 and Lodi and all of that stuff, that would be super, super cool, because I really want to know where they were going with that. The exotic mission that they just released in the final Life of Service update, I'm not going to say any spoilers for. Do not worry if you've not finished it. But that was one of the creepiest, most terrifying things I think I've ever seen in Destiny 2. And I want to know what that was. I'm going to be really vague and non-specific. I have specific questions, but I don't want to spoil it for anybody. I want to know what that was. And I want to know how that ties into like what Dredge and Bale is up to. I want to know more about the characters within that exotic mission. Again, trying to be really vague without ruining it for anybody. So personally, I want to see that storyline play out. So if if Destiny 3 was like a brand new story, that's where I'd want it to pick up, ideally, if that makes any sense. I think that'd be the best case scenario. Although realistically, if we're being honest with ourselves, if I could get a Destiny 3 with the devs that made Destiny 2, specifically speaking after the layoffs we heard about yesterday, I honestly would play it no matter what, because I trust them. Not that I don't trust other devs. I love other games, and I'm not trying to... I think game developers in general are just wizards. I don't understand how they do it. Literally, I took a couple coding classes and had a mental breakdown over not putting a parenthesis in the correct place, so I don't understand. Games to me are some kind of dark art magic situation that they just kind of work, and I'm grateful for it. But I don't know... Again, this is no shade at the hypothetical future devs, but I'm very bitter about what happened to the dev team and all the layoffs that's happened in the history of Bungie that I've known about, and the ones that I don't know about. I'm very angry about layoffs in general. So because I'm bitter of how these great minds were treated, I would follow them to the pits of hell. If there's some world in which they all got together, created their own independent studio, and did Destiny, the game, and it was some offshoot of Destiny, because I don't know how, I think Sony owns Destiny, the IP now. I don't know how that works. I'd be there in a heartbeat. So I personally would like to see Dredge and Bale's story play out in Lodi and the 9. But if that's not possible, and there was a game that picked up brand new, it could be a brand new story, I'd be there with the devs that made it. If you could get the OG team together, the writers and the artist and all the different sandbox people, just everybody, I would be there. You can call me a shill for that. I don't care. I like what I like, and I see talent and I respect it. So ideally, yes, Dredge and Bale's and Lodi's story would be continued, but if done correctly and by the right people, they're getting my money either way.
If you could speak directly to the people in charge of Sony and Bungie to convince them to continue supporting Destiny, what would you say?
If I could speak directly to the people in charge of Sony and Bungie to convince them to continue supporting Destiny, what would I say? After the news yesterday, like I said, the version of me that's gone to therapy for many years would have to come out to be calm, because I'm very angry. I myself have experienced layoffs multiple times, and it is a very cold and callous thing that's done, and it's very harmful in many ways. I don't understand the financials at all. I'm not a financial person. I've never worked in that kind of field specifically, so I can't sit here and pretend like I'm some expert on how any of that works. So I'm going to preface with saying that I'm not an expert in any of that, so the things that I say next only make sense from the context of like, hey, I don't actually know exactly what I'm talking about with the cost of things. But if I could speak with them, I would literally pull up Twitter and TikTok and YouTube, and I would show them the hundreds of, I'm sure thousands of stories shared by different Guardians who played the game and what it meant to them, and the different videos made, the tributes made. I would show them all of the fan art, the cosplays, the stories on AO3, the fanfics. I have friends who have entire books they've written. I have another incredible friend with a podcast with his own storyline that is based in the world of Destiny 2, and fantastic. work, I would show them all of the love, and then I would go into ArtStation because that's the app I'm most comfortable with personally, and I would show them all of the incredible work that the devs have done there. I would pull up lore books on the websites that are available to do so, and I would show them all the incredible writing, and I would appeal in this way. I don't know how helpful it would be, but I would appeal to the humanity of the human side of them. They are humans, whether they operate like robots or not. And I would show them just how big Destiny is. It is so far beyond just being a game. It is it's crazy, but it's beautiful. It's not just a video game that you hop into and you play and you're like, This is a game people have lived their lives and they met their spouses in, they met their friends in, they've managed tragedies in, they've managed the best times of their lives in. Destiny has been the fabric behind a lot of our lives, or within our lives, interwoven inexplicably and forever into who we are as human beings. And I know other games that have done that. I have other games for me personally that has done that, but Destiny has done it in such a way that it feels like they're killing a friend. Like it feels like I'm having to say goodbye to a human. And in a way I am, of course, my friends, and having to see the dev team laid off is, and it has been really hard to watch, knowing that there's not anything I can do. And I don't think appealing to their humanity would work. I think if I was a billionaire and could appeal to them with money, I'd have a better shot. But if nothing else, I'd want to show them that to them it was just maybe a financial decision. It was a meeting in a boring office, or a Teams meeting that no one wanted to be on, or a Zoom call everyone was pissed off about. But I want to show them the impact that this game has and will continue to have on the people whose lives it touched, whether you worked on it or you played it or both. And I just want them to know that there's enough people out there that love this game, that loved working on this game, that gave everything for this game in multiple ways, that there is an audience. And again, the financial part of it, I don't understand. I wish I just had like $1 billion I could throw at them and be like, here, fine, here's your money, go buy another boat or whatever. But if nothing else, I'd want to show them, I want to try to force within them the emotions that we feel. I want them to know what it feels like to lose this world, everything it's given us. And that's what I would do. I wouldn't be angry. I wouldn't yell as much as I'd want to. I'd want to appeal to them as a human. I'd want to appeal to them. Somewhere within them was a kid who lived something, or maybe still somewhere within them, if only their love is money. I'd want to appeal to that part of them that is a human and say, hey, is there a world in which we can do this and we can make this work? For the players, for the devs whose lives have been turned upside down, I just want them to be, that would be my goal. Of course, I want more Destiny, but I want the goal to be that the people that it mattered to and the people that made it, they are people. They're not just names. They're not just a document. They're not a list. That there's actually so much life. That would be the goal.
Thank you, Crane Carter, PeptoBismel, and Scones. Links to their socials will be linked in the description. Now that we're here, it's time for me to give my 2 cents. When I first heard about Destiny, I was 11 years old at the time, and I was mainly a Nintendo player, but thanks to my ex-stepdad, I got into, the PlayStation console. Destiny 1 was told to me by a GameStop employee after I went to GameStop to go and pre-order Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I wanted to try something else that wasn't Minecraft and COD, so he said straight up, hey, if you've never played Halo and you want to try a Bungie game out, get Destiny. And so I did. And I remember the night that I installed Destiny 1 on my PS3. And I remember staring at those concept art images on the loading screen that was downloading Destiny, in the game itself. What mesmerized me the most will always be the Black Fleet invading Earth. If it wasn't for the GameStop employee telling me about Destiny, I wouldn't be here right now. I was in a very tight bubble. Destiny clicked for me that same day that it came out. I have always been, I was diagnosed with autism at a very young age, and then ADHD sometime after, and that's to give context. to how I feel about Destiny. Destiny clicked because it felt like that perfect piece of food that you'd save for the last bite. It scratched my brain in a very specific way that rarely anything else has scratched. When I stepped forward through the Cosmodrome for the first time as a warlock, blasting things with my Void Grenade and my slaps and my Kvostov, I fell in love with the game. The art direction, the story, just our ghost. Being a guardian meant a lot, and throughout the years of playing Destiny, it has been my safe space, and truth be told, it is the primary reason why I'm able to even speak to you guys today. Destiny was my safe space. It was the place that I learned many different skills, and one of the most important skills was to be able to socialize with people and to be a part of a team. If it wasn't for Destiny, I wouldn't be here right now talking to you. I'd be nonverbal. I'd just be a nonverbal autist. My favorite Destiny story will always be Unveiling. When I first played Destiny, the first thing that always scratched my mind has been, what are the pyramids? What started the universe? Why is the Traveler here? What is the Traveler? Unveiling answered most, if not all, those questions, and especially after Unveiling the lore book, getting reinforced later down the line in the Light and Darkness saga. My favorite Destiny quote will always be when the speaker told Gaul to kill himself. The speaker told Gaul the Guardian tenets after Gaul was pestering him about how Gaul can earn the light, since the light can't be taken, it has to be given. And the speaker straight up said, devotion inspires bravery. Bravery inspires sacrifice. Sacrifice leads to death. So, feel free to kill yourself. And then Gaul starts baby raging. I was at work when I found out Destiny 2 was ending live service. 2 friends of mine, Crane Carter included, DM'd me on Discord while I was at work and told me to read the article. And I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe my eyes when I first read those first couple of lines that Destiny 2 was ending. I've been watching a lot of Donkey, Astacross, and a lot of other creators, and I've held out hope that Destiny 2 wasn't going to end, that there was something of all the noise we've all made that might persuade Bungie and Sony to backtrack at least some modicum. We could at least make Sony and Bungie backtrack just some amount, try to keep Destiny going, but it really is the end. Destiny's done. I wish we could get more Destiny. I've always held hope that after the Light and Darkness saga, there'd still be more to tell. And the incredible developers and narrative directors at Bungie knew what they were doing. They knew what story they wanted to tell with the Fate saga. A lot of people shit on Edge of Fate, and rightfully so. The gameplay was not good at all, but the narrative was really good. They finally started fleshing out the Nine after them being a mysterious force for who knows how long. And then Renegades, introducing Bale, introducing Six the Alchemist, who is one of the members of the Nine, being an asshole, and then he just runs away like a little bitch during Monument of Triumph. Like, I wanted to know more about the Nine, and I wanted them to flesh out these characters more, and the Bungie devs didn't have the ability to. They weren't given the chance to, and that upsets me. And for years, I have been combating the idea of a Destiny 3. Having a Destiny 3 never made sense from a business perspective or a consumer perspective. This conversation has been repeated over and over again since 2019. And I remember it got so big, there were people outside the Destiny circle who were coming in as people who understood game development and engineering, that a Destiny 3 just wasn't ever gonna make sense. But people still kept fighting for it. And that's on the game dev side. On the consumer side, why would you want a third game? Just shut down Destiny 2 for a little while, just temporarily, and rebuild the game. Pull a Final Fantasy XIV A Realm Reborn. If storage size is such a problem, do what the Helldivers did. Do what Arrowhead did for Helldivers 2. Hire a third-party company to compress your files. Helldivers went from almost 180 gigs down to 21. There is no excuse. There is no excuse for having a Destiny 3, having a third game just to split the narrative further. We don't need that. What we need is one game, one single evolving world where everything is in the same place. All the narrative is in one place. Everything you've earned is one place. You don't need a grand reset. You just need a motivation to play. A reset is not a good motivation to play. That's taking the chicken's way out. You gotta get creative. Destiny should have had the chance to continue. It should have had the chance to live on. But it didn't. And I've already come to terms that it's over. This video, a tribute to Destiny, is the culmination of something I wanted to do for the community and for myself. Mainly myself, because I've always wanted to become a Destiny creator. And it never worked out because I just didn't have the time to. And I was mostly a streamer, not a YouTuber. It wasn't until April when I started editing and I found joy and love in editing. This video took a lot out of me. This video is about to be maybe 2 hours and 2.5 hours by the time I'm done recording. I want you all to know that if you just make it to this part and you're hearing this, thank you for watching and thank you for listening to everything I put into this video. From the dumb memes that I've experienced with Crane Carter, to the lore that I shared, to the interviews that I got to listen to just being here and getting to see my mark in the Destiny community, my mark in Destiny's history. I'm very appreciative and grateful for that. Thank you.